sure about that build-up, because as we've just seen, it's tough. It's tough. A silhouette, yes. Today I was walking down the street and I came upon a badger. Once he'd soaked himself down, he said, "I've just talked to a swan. Just swimming around. Everything happens underneath the surface. Everything's calm up here, except when you're linked with electricity." These poor guys, they were walking around 2 minutes ago, and then some guy from N-Power comes up and goes, "Hey, I've got a really good idea for you. I've got a really good idea. Put your ankles up and see what happens here." If you look very closely, the electricity goes through the antlers, and it makes you light up. And they said, "That's great, but I can only sell that in December. That only sits in the front of the smile in December." It's tough to sell things at Christmas, except to this guy. He loves it because he's on heroin. He drew this. He doesn't know what it means, but he looks pretty. Because let's face it, when you're on that much drugs, everything looks good. He thought that was orange, but it's not. It's a colourist thing. It's Photoshop. Counting at a gig. Normally, you can only get to half. Fortunately, this guy's got to 1.5. Then, the drugs kicked in again. And the band came on. And they were yellow and red and screamed at us in Chinese, and no one could understand, except for the coal board. Because they knew everything. That's why they've gone away, because they knew too much. They knew what was coming. And so they just built a really strange looking building and left it there for us to have to knock down. Then they invented this. This conducts electricity through dia, which is what you saw earlier. You put a little charge in one way, and it goes a silly colour. Again, we wouldn't buy it, but if you're on heroin, you love this stuff. He's got, unfortunately, a small disease. Muscles have died, so he can only look that way. Thank you.